Hello. There we are. Hey, there's the what? Participants. Able camera. Camera's on. Uh, uh, participants. Go away. Okay, there's that. No. Thank you. Waiting room. Okay. Um. No live chats. Hello. How's it going? Am I doing this right? Ah, background. Hello, my lovelies. This is. I gotta turn the thing on. Testing. I think I'm on. One of these days, I will figure it out. Man, I just did a live and everything went moderately well. And now it's it's not as well. Hello, Lucky. Lucky's here. I think Lucky's here.
I'm here.
Yay, Lucky's here. Can you hear
For
me?
some reason. Yes, I can hear you fine.
Yay! I can't hear me. There you are.
Let's see if I can do this right. Oh, goodness. Hello,
Right.
camera. Okay, this way. So I got to be this way. All right, cool. Can you hear me?
I hear you awesomely well.
Fantastic.
Right?
Oh, I don't need my glasses because I've got a big ass monitor here. I don't even need my glasses now. I can read this.
Oh man.
Yay.
I know, right? That's what I did when I did my other my the unanswered prayers video and
Mhm.
everything was working as with the because I did it with OBS and everything worked as when I hit go. It's like, whoa! I was doing the happy dance when the fire started, but then I got to look and I don't think it went out on YouTube or X, but that's okay.
I didn't see it on YouTube and I didn't see it on X, and I don't know why. But here's the thing. You've got two different accounts. You've got Spaces Between and Paisley.
I do.
So which one did you go out on, and which one has your YouTube and your X linked up on it in your studio?
You know, it should be defaulted to both. I have to both of them have X and YouTube, but I don't know. Hey, I this point, whenever the video works and the audio works at the same time, it just makes me happy. Hey, Patrick. So yeah,
Yay.
so,
This is
yeah.
good.
So
So
when magic works, it's good. So did you
hey,
listen
Patrick,
to?
I see somebody. Oh, you that's a YouTube channel, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how's our sound coming through? Is her sound coming through good and my sound coming through good? Would you let us know?
Mm, yeah.
Might take a minute for it to get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. I right. Everything's speed of the internet.
In some things. Yeah.
Right? Well, speed of the internet could be dial up still in some places,
Right.
right?
Sometimes. All
Right.
right, let's see. So I've got a new studio going, new equipment, all this stuff. Whew. Wow. And everything worked fine, and
Yay.
now with Rumble Studio, I can see how quickly this worked for you. So we're gonna have an actual awesomeness. Thank you so much, Patrick. Thank you.
Thank you. You're my
Yeah.
hero. I gotta tell you, when the magic works, it totally works. And when it doesn't, you you you're just totally excited.
Uh-huh. I
What do
know.
you what do you think of this?
I love it.
Isn't that great?
I mean, oh God, there's so much to talk about, especially since Terrence Howard
I
went
need
on Joe
to
Rogan.
I need to watch that video with Joe Rogan because now I'm curious.
It's a 3-hour video. It's going to take you a few days to get through it because I know you've got so much that grabs your time. This week I have a low time intensive week, but next week I wouldn't have been able to do it during the other weeks, the every other week, the alternative weeks. But I've got to watch it, and it's like I'm gonna have to watch it again because the graft. Okay, frequency. Let's
Mhm.
just go there. Frequency, girl. I was
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
I was sitting here like I knew this, and it's funny because I take care of some children, and when I'm trying to
Mhm.
teach them the periodic table, right? I've been trying to teach them, and I'm like, God, this makes no sense. Look at it, it's gapping here and here. You got all the elements are just all spread out, and then you got some other make believe ones over here, invented ones over here, and what I'm really excited about is the spiraling of the elements, how he positioned that. And it's not his own idea. He just went with it. Somebody else's idea. Okay. Who's that dinging me? Was that, ah, um, hang on a second. You know what happened, right?
What's that?
Well, whenever you and I get to talking about what happens?
Oh,
Yep,
oh,
that
that's too
happened.
funny. That's awesome.
Yes. But it's okay. It's quite all right. So the thing is about the frequencies, the spirals and things like that. Something else he was talking about is well, actually quite a few things. They went everywhere, even into the vaccine. They went into everything, okay, on that 3-hour show. And even Rogan said this is going to be an 80-hour show, isn't it? Like that. Yep, it would if time allowed, they would have been easily if time was of no importance, they probably easily could have gone 80 hours because Joe is a good interviewer.
Well,
I
yeah.
like what he's done with it. I'm not jealous of him or anything like that. I'm just saying I really do admire what he did with his brand and his show. It's the Joe Rogan experience, not the Joe Rogan podcast, not Joe Rogan quips. It's all about who's there opposite the table from him.
Mhm.
That's really really cool, and he really tapped into. I mean, he tapped into a huge pipe of information there, because Terrence Howard had a lot of it, and
Mhm.
um, what he talked about with Hollywood. He didn't go into the graphic, disgusting stuff, but what he did do is he did explain how he got ripped off. He pretty much got ripped off. That's what we would call it. He got ripped off. But that was it in regards to Hollywood. He, pretty much. But his science, the science that he was talking about, and something about how his first memories was when he was in the womb.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you got to watch this thing. He's talking about, and I'm sitting here like, and his first memory, what he said, and I know I've said it on air before, I've said it publicly before about the first word I ever learned, or that I knew, was the word remember. Okay, it was remember, and it was in this voice, this authoritative voice, remember, to so that I could remember everything from prior to remember to bring here with us. And it was kind of like a you know how the wormhole is depicted in Contact, that movie Contact with Jodie Foster?
Mhm.
The wormholes in that screaming fast, traveling. It was kind
Mhm.
of like that, but not so scary.
Okay.
Okay. Um, but I'm like, and I can remember I remember my voice, the voice saying "remember," and it was echoing through that tunnel, if you will. And you know what the funny thing is?
What's up?
He said, when he said on this thing, this, what, that interview took place, what, a couple days ago? When he said that what he heard first was "don't forget,"
Oh,
and I'm like,
Wilde.
I held his desk. I'm like, oh, dude, there's another one. There's another one. I'm like, I'm not alone. I'm not crazy. This is not happening to just me, you know. And it's just, I guess this time of my life, you know, I'm so refreshed that I feel refreshed and relieved that there are
Mhm.
other people that haven't had these experiences that I've had, and I'm not crazy because there's something to it. There is
Right.
something to it, and you can't deny it when, you know, all your life. It's like, especially those of us who have stuck with ourselves, was faithful to ourselves. Palm, hi.
You're trying to refocus the camera? Because I don't know
Okay.
if that didn't work.
Okay.
I
I'm just sitting here like, are you trying to do this at me? Aliens. But anyway, so what happened is, you know, when he was talking about the frequencies and the way the things spiral, that there is no straight line in our existence. There is no straight line.
Mhm.
Even if we were to draw a straight line right here across our desk, it's not really straight because our the earth is curved, isn't it? And these minute, even though it's super minute to our eyes, it's still a curve.
Mhm.
It doesn't go level all the way across. So it's like, ooh, oh, and then I knew you'd be all over this, especially when I saw that one clip about where he was talking about the flower of life and the different bubbles and the different atoms and the different particles and things like that. And it's like, and when they mesh together, all the what do you call it? The vortices, you know,
Uh,
those in
oh, the
between.
spaces between? Mhm. Yeah.
It was like the spaces between. I'm like, heck yeah, this my girl's gonna get this one. She knows what this means. Yeah. So I'm quite stoked about this. Um, you know, and because not just because you know somebody else said it. It's because now that he's been on a platform such as Joe Rogan, who's got how
Right.
many million people watching him every day?
Mhm.
Now it's everywhere.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
everywhere. Everybody gets to hear it now, and everybody throughout the whole world. And get this, that consciousness, not only consciousness, it's going to reset or at least adjust the frequency of our thinking, the way we carry ourselves, and it's going to improve the lives of so many people because they get to walk in that relief. They can their chest can relax and their back naturally fall straight again, and they can walk properly and not be so cowed down by all the voices and echoes of the criticisms that they got throughout life, because when they said these things nobody believed them. They're like, oh, you're crazy,
Great.
or you this, you know. Believe me, it's like, you look at me, it's like for many years it's like I was fighting. I was like, you know, just angst ridden and full of tension because I know what I know, what I know, what I know. And when I see something or I experience something, don't sit there and tell me I'm crazy. Don't sit there and try to call me a liar or imaginative thinker or anything. I know what I know. And
Mhm.
now it's like, now that the word has gone across the whole universe because the frequency waves just went out to
Right.
everywhere, I'm just so relieved. I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, because
Absolutely.
I don't have to. I don't have to explain it all. Here, just watch this
Mhm.
video. This has already been done. I don't have to explain it to you. I don't have a degree in this. I don't have a degree. You can't use the appeals to authority on me because I can say, okay, just listen to this person, or the Rife machine. You know, the Rife machines is about frequency also. You know, there's all kinds of technology that, and it's academy that has basically pushed most people down. And it's not just academy, but academy through religion. And I've been
Mhm.
saying lately that academy and religion has kind of, you know, tied the knot here
Mhm.
because it's become a religion. You know, sciences have become a religion. It's like you, the priests, if you will,
Mhm.
of the sciences get up on the TV and they say, trust the science. Okay. The COVID is deadly. It's deadly for everybody, and the children need to stay at home. They can't see their grandparents because of this and this. And now we know it's not true, but those priests of science said trust the science, just like the MAGA people saying trust the plan. Remember that
Oh
sessions,
yeah.
trust the plan. Okay,
Trust the plan.
who the hell do these people think they are telling people to trust something?
Right?
Trust nothing.
Uh, when someone says, "Oh, just trust me, I got this," my instinct is nowadays, "Oh, you have no clue what the hell's going on."
Trust. I don't trust anything. Prove yourself to me,
Yep.
because that's it. It's like, okay, I don't. I mean, if you don't believe me, fine. That's okay. That's okay. I don't mind that you don't believe me, but don't sit there and try to take me down and try to discount me in front of everybody else. Um, do your own thing. You do you. Let me do me. And if I resonate with somebody else, great. If I don't, okay. It's okay. We're all going to get there. But I'm so excited about this new. This might be the portal that everybody was looking for.
Right? And portals. Everybody assumes
I
that a
know.
portal is a physical thing.
Oh no. Well, it depends on your perspective. If you're a giant or if you're a human, maybe not. Yeah, we don't trust anything anymore, right? I'm sorry, Marley.
Yes. So yeah, portals are not always. They're not always the three dimensions that we perceive them to be.
Right.
And there's been a lot of talk about how humankind is moving, into the fourth dimension or fifth dimension, and depending on who you might be speaking with, because different people have these different theories, and some of them are full of malarkey, and some of them kind of have a clue, and some think they have a clue, but they're way off, and we'll just leave it at that. And
Hmm.
so, um, uh, just as time is not a fixed thing anymore, it's not a fixed thing, and light is not a fixed thing. None of those are fixed. It's all
Right.
multifaceted. Um, so multifaceted. So these portals are multifaceted also, and it's kind of like if you look in a mirror straight on, you see just the mirror, right? You see
Hmm.
whatever the mirror is reflecting. But if you put your face against the mirror, you can see all sorts of things. Like, how the bloody hell can the mirror reflect the things right here that it can't even see? How is it reflecting like the room that is beyond the edge of the mirror?
Okay.
So, portals similarly, if you are 1 degree or a part of a degree, in any direction, it's like a multifaceted gem or diamond or whatever. It could be in any place, and so it's not like a fifth dimension or a fourth dimension. We'll just call it a multidimensional. The
Hmm.
multiverse, as overused as that word is nowadays,
Hmm.
is true. Um, it is all interconnected, and so the flower of life is what he was using, and he had all the little bits and pieces, and he was shown it as a two-dimensional thing, but it is not two-dimensional. It comes out, and wow, I don't have the software to just pull it out and say, "Ooh, check this out," it just keeps going, and the vortexes and vertices, because there's so much in there that is visible, but yet is invisible. I
Hmm.
mean,
I
the
loved where he explained about gravity. What is gravity? Now, see, I tell children gravity is that thing that makes you fall. Okay, not quite right. It's electric.
Mhm,
It's about electric, and I'm like, because he's right. You sit
mhm.
there and rub a balloon on your hair or something else that causes friction and everything like that, and you hold that balloon along the ground. It's going to pick up particles from the ground. Now That balloon, which does not have density or what should be considered gravitational force, just beat the whole flipping planet in gravitational weight. Then that balloon, that balloon beat and pulled particles from the Earth that should not have been pulled from the Earth.
Because of electricity.
It's because of electricity. It's not gravitational because of the magnetic core is revolving or whatever have you.
It's just
Which
energy.
would be electric anyway, so that's an electric pulse, but it's electricity. Holy crap. I mean, and I don't know much about I'm not an electrician, and I'm to be honest with you, nope, I am not doing electrical work. Nope. Nope. Because I've almost been shocked too many times, and no, no, it's not cool. Don't like it. But the thing is that, like he said, you sit there and you get a balloon. I think that's what this higher science needed after all the control mechanisms that were placed 100 and 150 years ago, to keep science contained to a linear fashion, 2D fashion, to control the minds of the people who were studying and entering into those fields. His voice basically released, and I think this, I lost where I was going with this, but his voice and the way he spoke about it basically is the portal, because now everybody is able to look into it, and they get to see, they get to discover, they get to expound upon as they think. And now you've got young people, and so look at all the adults. Look at how I'm all excited about this, and I'm like, dude, we got to look into this. You know darn well we're going to teach the young people, and the young people are going to be like, oh, so now the challenge is for these kids who have an instinct to follow along with this science, which is not really new. It's old. It's the aethers, and it's the old sciences, or alchemy and things like that. Here's the thing. Now, those children who are able to pick up on music, because that's something I noticed about this one little kid. He likes to do the scales while he's doing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, while he's looking at the periodic table. And that didn't make sense at first. And I'm like, okay, just let him explore. I'm all about, go ahead and explore it. If this is your mnemonic to remember. Then when I saw what Terrence Howard did, I'm like, oh, wow. The baby was right. Out of the mouth of babes, right? You know, the baby was right. So that's the portal. There's your portal right there. Yes, I'm running through it, honey. Running through it with cymbals and tambourines and yay, some noise.
Right. So when you clicked that link and mentioned the spaces between, I was looking at a couple of different comments and stuff within the feed there. Somebody mentioned, or they were talking about the aether and how people aren't really studying the aether anymore. Just like alchemy doesn't have the same draw that it used to have, because chemistry has taken over, and the different sciences, the more mainstream sciences today, and because alchemy is considered too esoteric, and aether has been kind of left to the wayside because it's not really a thing anymore. And it's really unfortunate because there is a lot of stuff, using the word stuff, because it's a very clean 5-letter word, that is in those two fields. So alchemy, chemistry draws a lot from alchemy. And if alchemy hadn't have happened, botany, chemistry, medicine, I mean, there's a lot of things in there. We wouldn't have learned as much about silver, for instance, if there hadn't have been alchemy.
Right.
And then with aether, so aether is like this field. It's like it's the flower of life, is its own multiverse. It's like that is the aether, but it's all around us.
Mm-hmm.
And um and so like the ley lines within the earth are connected to that aether, but in a physical sense. So
Mm-hmm.
ley lines, for those of you who don't know, are energetic fields within the earth, and like rivers of energy or lines of energy that run through the earth. And often they follow similar patterns to water. Energy often follows water. So there's a lot of ley lines share space with rivers and streams and wells and naturally occurring cisterns and lakes and such. Um, Not as much the man-made ones, unless something really, really, really significant happened in the man-made part.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's in recent years, there's been a lot of droughts here in the U.S., and we have discovered that, or rediscovered, I should say, um, ghost towns and such, where lakes have happened because reservoirs were created. Well, when some of those and ghost towns were discovered, have you ever wondered how many Native American burial grounds were in those same areas?
I hadn't thought of it. I hadn't thought of it. Didn't know about it.
Well,
Interesting.
um, so how many Native American holy places were covered up by water when those reservoirs were created?
Oh, oh,
Um,
that's some troubling thoughts right there.
um, because the Native Americans here within the U.S. were were and are very in touch with the energetic flows here within the US. And this
Mm-hmm.
is true for the indigenous peoples and indigenous tribes of any of the continents. If you ever have any doubts, go to Australia and talk to the bush people. Talk
That's
about
true.
some people who have some serious, hmm, they are still very, very in touch with the aether. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
they never lost their contact.
That's true. I believe
Um,
that's true.
and so, you know, I think when the white settlers moved into North America, Central America, and South America, they tried very hard to cover up a lot of those energy lines for multiple reasons. And we lost a lot of that energy, lost a lot of that power. And I think because of some of what's happening in um, both the aether, the world, and our universe, for lack of a better word, right now is resetting some of that energy. I mean, all you got to do is look at the weather right now and wonder about some of that energy. I mean, Derricos don't generally happen in the Midwest. Well, they did in Dust Bowl times.
Wait a minute. What generally doesn't happen in the Midwest?
Derricos, those strong horizontal winds that um, so the Derricos, Derecho,
Oh, okay.
Derecho,
I
Derecho,
don't. I don't.
Derecho.
I'm not
The
familiar with the word.
um, it's an original. Let's see. I'm not even sure what the derecho, derecho, Derico. So
I,
you learn a word by reading rather than by speaking.
mm-hmm.
Um, it's there's mass. If you look at the weather right now, the forecast for today and tomorrow is a lot of major weather events through the Midwest, the lower Midwest, upper Midwest, and then kind of from Oklahoma to Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So
They call
this
it
the,
inland hurricane. It's
did you say
100
this is
miles
a horizontal wind or vertical wind?
horizontal,
Okay,
like
the
100
wind
mile
that
an hour
was wind
winds.
shear. That sounds like
Um,
wind shear of sorts.
yeah, yeah, sort of, but it's storm related rather than so it's like it's not wind shear. It's
No,
storm.
I'm cool. I'm cool with that. I just wow. All right. So
Yeah.
what happened in Houston? You heard about that storm there too, right?
Oh yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
have so one of my son's high school friends lives in Oklahoma, and he is about 3 miles roughly from where most of this weather has been happening. And hmm, let's see, message last night or yesterday because I've been checking on him and see if I can pull up how he phrased it because it was poetic. I mean, just because I've been just checking on him. It's like, hey, you okay? Because yeah, it's been pretty major. Um,
You know, Marley on YouTube just said something that they're in Missouri and storms and high winds like that are pretty normal. And I have to say that I think I agree because if I recall correctly, the dust storms
mhm.
they blew so fiercely across the Midwest and the West, and pretty much everywhere, that the winds and the dust landed or did arrive in New York.
Mhm.
That's pretty.
Well, so I'm originally from the Midwest, so I've seen tornadoes. I've been around tornadoes. I get it.
Mhm.
Uh, but
No, I'm not talking about tornadoes. I'm talking about the wind storms because that's what also drives blizzards, right?
yeah, let's see. So
While she's looking that up. Hello, Gemini Moon. Good to see
yes,
you.
in Oklahoma, he said he's an Odinist. He said, "I hear Thor swinging his hammer in the clouds. I call to Odin, and his ravens answer me, and Loki's laughter floats on the winds."
Nice. I
It's
like
like,
it.
oh, that's really good. So,
It is really good.
yeah, it's like, oh, well, that's pretty good. Um, yeah.
But sorry
It's
about
like,
that.
yeah, don't. So yeah, it was like, well, that's
You're a little bit proud. That's okay.
yeah. It's like, um, geez,
No, but that, like I said, I'm really stoked about the frequencies, and
yes,
it's funny. It's like because the people we talk to off
hmm
air, it's like in our private people we talk to every day.
right.
We've been talking about this very thing about the portals are showing up, that we are going to be seeing all kinds of weird manifestations. And of course, with the solar weather doing its thing, that's electric too. I mean, there's a lot of electric influence coming from the sun. Yeah, you think?
Right.
That's a pretty colorful thing. Now, I would recommend also for people to listen to Savan
Um,
Beaumont if they're
mhm.
interested in that kind of thing about the frequencies, about the colors. And that's I want to be the fly on the wall. I want to host both Terrence Howard and Seven Beaumont in the same broadcast. I'll be the fly on the wall. I'll direct maybe questions here and there, just interject a few things, and I'll shut the hell up and just listen because that's a moment I want to listen. And you know what the funny thing is? It just dawned on me. These are both brothers. They are
But
brothers, and I mean, look at the life we're living now. Because I mean, think about it. 50 years, 40 years ago, let's say, 50 years ago too. You wouldn't hear of a bunch of white podcasters wanting to talk to a couple of brothers about what's happening next in the world. It's just weird how we've just evolved, I guess. You know, so that racial divide that's been going on in our country, that is manufactured, and everybody knows it.
oh, I know, and it's vexing. This racial tension crap is just, bah.
And not just racial, but generational arguments. Everybody going, "Oh, the stinking boomers, they did it." Oh, shut up. The boomers, if it wasn't for the boomers, we wouldn't have half the crap we have right now.
Right.
That's a fact. I mean, and Yeah, there's some brilliant ones there. Gen X, same thing. Because here's the thing: this is what's going to come next. It's like whatever the next generation is going to hate Gen X. Well,
Mhm.
they don't want to. They don't want to play around with Gen X. I guarantee you that. Because Boomers are nice. You know, they're nice compared to we are, what we are. Because we had to survive.
Right. Right, what is her name? Oh,
Minnie,
Sherry.
Miss Sherry. That's it.
Her name
Cherie,
is
Sherry, something like that. Purple hair.
yeah, the purple-haired lady that talked. Yeah, she is a riot,
Mm-hmm.
and I love her.
Mm-hmm. She's telling the truth.
She's
Yep.
telling the truth,
Yes, she
and
is.
yeah, and yeah, there's a couple of them. Uh, yeah,
Okay, I'm
for
sitting here. I don't know why I'm squinting at the screen. Excuse me. I'm just
squinting at the little screen instead of looking at the big one.
no, because I can't read the text. The small text in the chat.
Oh,
I've been so tired from the CMEs. CMEs have been no, they've been
mhm.
intense.
And
Um,
for those with autoimmune issues, they're feeling them also. So if you have an autoimmune issue, you're probably feeling it in your joints a little more.
oh yeah.
Um, so Mini Me, who is almost double, she'll be 10 in June, by the way.
Oh my gosh, she's getting so big.
Tell me about it.
I
Oof.
know.
Yes, she's almost a tween ager. I don't.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Oh no.
yeah,
Oh,
so many things.
oh
Yes, and
wow.
yeah, facepalm. They're called the alpha generation. Alpha
Oh, they're
generation.
gonna be called alphas.
They're
Okay.
called the alphas.
I don't know why that makes me want to howl, but oh,
Right. Marley Jane. So Mini Me is my daughter. So, I have my boys are in their 30s and my daughter is 10. Uh, yeah.
because she said, "Hey, let's give it another go." You know.
No, that's not what I said. I thought so. So we have a blended family. My boys. My oldest is actually my husband's son. And my younger boy is my son, and so that's the boys, and they're 2 years apart, and almost is like a year and 364 days. Seriously, they're one day. Yeah, one is on the 21st, one is on the 22nd. I mean, it couldn't have, yeah. Anyways, and then so when I had my son, it's like, all right, there was my one. I got lucky and sweet. It was my bonus child. So didn't really expect to have any others. And then 20 years later, I'm at the doctor thinking I'm sick because what is wrong with me? Because I thought I had mono or something like that because I was so flippin' tired. Nah, it wasn't mono.
So not mono me, it's mini me.
Right, exactly. And so I found out in October. So for Halloween, I walked around with an ice cream bucket in a bathrobe and my slippers in my pajamas. And everybody's like, "What are you for Halloween?" I said, "Oh, well, I'm pregnant." It's like, "Well, that's a great costume. You look so comfortable." I said, "Well, trick or treat, give me your candy." They're like, "That's great. You're even the moody one too." I said, "Well, yes, because I am. I'm pregnant. Give me your candy." They're like, "Wait, what?"
Now.
So that's how
That's
I
awesome.
announced it to everybody. It's like, yeah, but
Oh, that's awesome. Wow.
yeah, because it took
Oh
me a
my
week
god.
to tell my husband. I was just a blithering idiot. I was sobbing because we were planning on going to Germany, and
Aw.
we had been saving it. He was working in a factory and for a pharmaceutical company, and he could wear MP3 with earpods and stuff, and so he was doing German in his ears and learning German. And so he could at least order beer fluently. That was the whole idea. And he wanted the good stuff. And it's like, I find out I'm pregnant, and my doctor is just a smart ass, anyways. And yeah,
That's
he
so funny.
well, my doctor, he goes, I was like, I'm tired. I wanted to go away. He's like, well, it will go away naturally. It's like, naturally when? He goes, oh, in about 8 months. It's like, 8 months? I gotta go to work on Monday. And he's like, well, we can't really hurry this along. It's like, and he drew it out. And he's like, well, you're pregnant. I'm like, well, shit. I thought it was a doctor's appointment over lunch, and I go back to work, and I sit down in my boss's office. And I go, and she goes, "What's wrong?" I go, "Well, shit." And she goes, "Oh, shit." Yes.
I said, yeah.
So, yeah. And so, yeah, that's how that went. And then, so yeah, and Blither an idiot. I call him up and I'm like, hey, before you start work, I gotta tell you something. And he's like, all right. It comes on out, and I'm like, I'm sobbing. I'm a snot-nosed mess because I'm just. He's like, well, what's wrong with you? He goes, I'm pregnant. He just looks at me, just deadpans. Was it mine? I'm like, smack?
Good for you.
He goes, I'm like, what? And he goes, well, I had to make you stop crying somehow. It's like, you could have hugged me. I'm like, you jerk. So yeah, my husband's smart ass.
Poor thing.
Do you know what?
What?
Mini me is the same level of smart ass that he is.
Oh, that's awesome for him.
Mm-hmm.
Not for you, because you have to deal with that.
Well, I know, and I can manage it still because I know what it is. And but man, she'll smart off at him just because he'll be like, and she'll be like, right back at him. And it's like, you created this monster.
He looks at you.
and he'll look at me like, and she'll go into her room and he'll look at me and I'm like, you created her.
That's yours. It is funny how sometimes children are the reflection of their parents.
Oh yeah, she 100% is. She is actually, and she's a good kid. She's smart. She's a good kid. She's very intuitive, and she's very in touch with the aether, I think.
Oh yeah, she is, and she's got a lot of. Oh girl, don't do that! You just scared the hell out of me. I thought that was a windstorm coming through.
Oh no, that was the mini me. Like, you see some of this gray hair here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there.
Oh, you can't blame all that on her, can you?
Oh no, I have boys, and but yeah, some of it is definitely hers, and I think I'm gonna have more because yes, she's about to turn 10, and so yeah,
we haven't even gotten in yet. That's gonna be fun. A lot of intense emotions, and she's gonna be just firing off some stuff.
She asked me to buy her deodorant.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, sure, I have no problem with that. Hey, you don't want to stink? 2 thumbs way up. I'm all for it. Like, yeah, we can look for deodorant. Absolutely. So and I tell her dad, like, hey, we're gonna go. She wants me to buy her deodorant. He's like, no. I'm like, what do you mean no? He's like, she doesn't need deodorant yet. She's not old enough. It's like, hey, she wants to learn about the things, and I'm going to teach her. It's okay. He's like, she just doesn't need it. Well, I still took her, and we went to Walmart and we went through the stink section so she could smell all the different things and try them all out.
Pretty stink. The pretty stink.
And I go, and she's like, I don't know. I don't like any of these. It's like, you don't have to like them. It's okay. You don't have to get any of these. You don't really need any of them yet. She's like, okay. And then we went to the dollar store because we needed some other stuff. She goes, oh, look, there's deodorant here too. And I'm like, and she's like, I said, do you want to check any of these out? She's like, oh yeah, let's look at some of this. She found one she likes. It's even aluminum free. And so we got her that one. And And he's like, "You actually got her deodorant?" Oh, Marley, yes. The boys were so much easier. They were feral. It was easier. She's feral too. I've had to tell her to take her sword off the table more times than I ever had to tell the boys. Just saying. Um,
I love her.
but yeah.
Love that kid. She's
Um,
awesome. She's awesome. She's such a smart girl. Urgh. Yeah.
feisty. And
Hmm.
but now she's like the other day, she's like, "Mom, do I need to shave my legs?" I'm like, "I don't know. Do you?" She's like, and she looks down at her legs. She goes, "Well, they are kind of fuzzy." It's like, "Well, are you worried about it?" She's like, "Well, no." It's like, "Well, then don't worry about it. If you're worried about it, let me know and we'll talk about it." She's like, "Okay." And so that's basically the conversations we've been having about that kind of thing. And I mentioned it to her dad, and he's like, "No, she doesn't need to shave until she's in high school. What
Oh
are
my
you
god.
what on earth are you talking about? She can't shave." It's like, breathe. At some
Right.
point, she's going to want to shave, and I will help her.
Hmm.
That's all there is to it.
You know what I do regret is that when I was 13, we didn't have that laser surgery thing. Because if
Mhm.
we had that back in the 80s, girl, mm, there wouldn't be any more shaving. We just, hey, zzz, or that.
Right?
My sister got it done. She loves it. She didn't have to shave ever again. She was so happy with it.
Well, my grandmother told me that after menopause,
Hmm.
at some point, you don't have to shave anymore because the hair on your
Not true.
legs stops growing.
Not
Well,
true.
for her, it did. It's like, well, that's great. Apparently, it just comes out my damn chin instead. But
Hey, you got to pluck the stray eyebrows. We call them stray eyebrows because they gone straight.
they're not straight eyebrows. If I didn't pluck my chin, I'd have more beard than Mr. Longbeard. Mm, yes. Anyways, so you can laugh. I don't care.
It's a,
Um,
hey, hey, I'm not gonna lie. I got a couple. I got to tell you the story how that happened. Okay, how I got mine. That was actually my mother cursing me. I'm not kidding. Because what happened was I think I was 18, 17 or 18.
mhm,
And my mom's doing dishes and she's standing at the sink. She's doing dishes and I'm going helping her rinsing and drying and things like that, right?
mhm.
And my dad was legally blind, so he didn't, you know. Anyway, but I saw this a strand of hair on her chin. I was like, "Stay still," like that. And I went to get it, to get it off her chin because I figured it was like a strand from her hair, whatever. No, it went ding 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 ding. I was like, "What? What the fuck is this, Mom? What is this?" And I'm pulling at it. She goes, "Oh, shut up!" And I was like, "No, what is that?" And she, because what? And I'm like, "Mom, what is that?" And she said, "It's a hair." I was like, "Well, I see that, but what the hell is it doing there?" I was like, and she said, she goes, "Well, this is what happens when you get older." I was like, "No, no, no." I said, "Well, why didn't you pluck it, Mom? You just have the one. Just pluck it." She goes, "Why should I?" I'm like, "Does Dad know about this?" Because my dad was he was an attention thing. He had to know everything, right? And so she says, "No, and you're not going to tell him." I said, "Okay, I won't tell him." Right? And I was like, and I kept on pulling. I was like, ding, 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 ding. So later that day, a family friend and my parents and I went to the mall in Chattanooga and we, did whatever. Mom is driving, dad's legally blind, so he's in the front seat and the family friend and I are in the back. And we got some beers back there, man. We're just sitting there chugging away in the back seat of the car, and talking shit to dad and everything like that, right?
Mhm.
So we're driving home and the family friend says, "Marianne, would you please make that ham with the spaghetti and cheese thing you make that's so good?" She goes, "No, I'm not pot walloping today after driving all the way to Chattanooga and back. No." And he's like, "Come on, May, please," like that. And I go, "Not by the hair on her chinny chin chin," and I start cackling. Okay. Now I'm I'm kind of buzzed, a little bit more than buzzed, and I'm cackling. And my dad is he's like, "What the hell's wrong with my kid?" And he looks at mother and he says, "What is she carrying on about?" And I'm just losing my shit. And mom looks in the rearview mirror at me and she says, "I'm going to kill you." And I said, "What, mom?" Like, and dad says, "Tell me now." And I said, "Not by the hair on her chinny chin chin." My dad pestered her so much and made her say what it was about. Because I wasn't talking. I was too busy cackling and drunk, right? My dad said, "Where?" Like that, he starts feeling around on her chin, looking for it. He found it. Ding, 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 ding. So, guess what my mother did? Because she was so furious with me. She cursed me with the same affliction times 7.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. It worked.
Oh darn.
It's okay. I deserved it. I had fucked with my mother. I fucked around and found out.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh my stars. That's awesome though.
And because it was a curly cue like a pig. That's why I did that. It was just
I'll
one
get one of those like
strand and it's
right
curly.
here. It'll I won't notice it. I won't notice it. And then suddenly my neck will itch or something and I'll go, "Oh, that itches." And then I'll touch it like it's like and
I'll
I'll be
tell you
like
the most
and
embarrassing
I'll be
thing.
like, "Oh my god." And it'll be like, "What the why do I have a 2-inch hair hanging off my neck?"
I'll tell you the most embarrassing one is because my friend, she saw it was in the daylight. We were in the daylight, and I've got dark hair. Black hair, it's like, that's what color they are, so it's easy to pick them up. Blah, blah. One day she said, "What is that on your chin?" And I'm like, "I don't know what." She goes, "Stay still," like that. And she grabs mine, right? She said, "It's white." I'm like, "What?" She said, "It's white. I saw the sun glint off it." I'm like, "Ah." So
That's
yeah,
too
something
funny.
to look forward to.
Oh yeah, I get those too. So I get those. They're white. I get the white streaks in my eyebrows, and yeah.
Girl,
I just it happens, and
mhm.
it's
Hey, it's just a flesh shoot. Enjoy it and make fun of
yeah,
it.
every so
It's
often I'll dye the hair, I'll cut the hair. The hair grows back, do the
oh
stuff.
gosh, never mind.
You
My
know,
hair is down to my waist. My hair is down to my waist again. Yep.
um,
Love it.
this is the longest my hair has been since COVID.
Oh wow.
Since I had COVID. Well, I cut it all off because I lost so much of it. It's so thin now. It's frustrating.
Makes me wonder about that though. It does.
Um, well, supposedly, if you have a high fever, which I did have a high fever, I had a very high fever. Um, it, it can cause you to lose hair. Any high fever can cause you hair loss.
Hmm. So for
Um,
those of us who have too much and too thick a hair,
you're
would that
just
be
hot.
recommended? Just get out.
You just get hot.
Just get
So, uh, well, COVID. I lost a lot of weight with COVID. I, you know, had some things went right with COVID. Now, have some things that wisdom highlights. I like the wisdom highlights.
I
I think
like that, Marley. Yeah. Wisdom highlights. Ooh.
hey,
Okay.
any pro needs
Take
the
it.
wisdom highlights. Yes.
I'll
So,
take it.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but
So just
I
yeah.
don't know
So
how we managed to get from frequencies all the way to gray hairs on our
well,
chin.
you know what? That's why we call it tumbling through the chaos.
Mhm.
We just do the stuff.
This is how our phone. But see, a lot of people don't realize this is how a lot of times our phone conversations go.
Right. This is why we need to just record all our phone conversations and put them out
Right.
as shows because we might be on the phone for 3 hours, but this is how it goes. We start at one point and we just go all the way through. You never know what's going to come up.
That's true.
Anything.
And I get a lot from it too because I learn from you, and then
Mhm.
I know you get some stuff from me, and then between the two of us, in between those spaces, right?
Mhm.
There's also other information that comes up,
Mhm.
and That's yeah. You got to watch that Terrence Howard video, really, on Joe
Yep.
Rogan. And the thing is what I like about it is it's not a scientific venue. It's not a scholastic venue.
Right.
It's not. You don't have the stiff collars and the college boys all sitting at attention, and it's not like
That
that.
is
It's
irritating.
actually
It's
it's refreshing. That's what it was. Frequency. We were talking about frequency and currency, right? Or the
mhm.
current. Electric current, energetic current, water current, all these
I
different
am
currents.
a firm believer, and so I've started calling the way or intuitive magic or my path, the way I practice magic or
Right.
my pagan beliefs.
Hmm.
Uh, the wild way, just because people are like, oh, what is your path? It's like, it's the wild way. And they're like, oh, I've never heard of that. That sounds interesting. It's like, well, it's mine. Uh-huh.
Right.
And anyways, so I feel that magic is energy and energy is magic.
But it's a current. There's a currency.
And because, and so common statements are that magic is just unexplained science. Okay, totally. I get that. Sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can
Hmm.
endorse that one.
I'm okay with that.
Because yeah, if you had walked up to Einstein with a cell phone,
Yeah, he
um,
was a little.
his head would have exploded a little bit, and then
Mhm.
he would have been like, "Whoa, let's da da da," or um,
Well,
you know,
yeah, you're gonna hear about some famous scientists and stuff like that in the Terrence Howard
well, there,
discussion, and it's. I'm glad I was on the right side of history there on that one. No, anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
or Nostradamus. What could Nostradamus have done with today's technology?
He could have encrypted all his stuff in real words, and all you needed was a key.
Mm-hmm. You mean like that book that nobody can understand because it's written in
You
a
mean the
foreign language?
Voynich, the
Yep.
Voynich Chronicles or the Voynich manuscript?
Yep, that one.
That might be a good idea is to get Terrence Howard to look at that and see what he comes up with.
I mean, that
But
would
I
be
don't know.
so. Some
Bear
people
with
think
me here.
that one's
Go ahead.
just BS. Something to throw everybody off the track.
No, I think it was a genuine person who did this,
Hmm.
okay? But I think I don't know. I'm not going to say. I should not say that. What I should say is I could not discern a pattern throughout their writings or anything like that. I could not decipher anything, not anything on it,
Hmm.
to make it make sense. And I haven't looked at all of it. I just looked at enough to give myself a headache. So, hey, I'll take a look at stuff. I'll take a look at somebody's theories or their postulates. But
Hmm.
if it gives me a headache after a while, because see, my problem is that I try to make sense of anything and everything. That's why I love children because they come out, they grab stuff from the ether and pull it down and just and throw it out there. And guess what? It's like, and you have to sit there and open your mind and stop looking with your own lenses and the
Hmm.
own and your framework. Your own little frames around everything because you're going to miss something. Um, Children really, really floor me because
Hmm.
as much as I've tried throughout my life to not have preconceived notions when talking to other people, it still happens. It still
Hmm.
happens. And with children, that's a crime. I say a crime personally. It's a crime that
Hmm.
I'm committing because I won't call somebody else guilty of that. But it's a crime as far as I'm concerned because I know better. And children, when they trust you with the information, their downloads that they get,
Hmm.
like for instance, one time, little boy told me, he said, Elizabeth, I think I was the first boy. I said, why do you say that? And he said, because when I look in the mirror, what is it? No, he said, I can't see my eyes. He can see himself. He cannot see his eyes.
That's interesting.
Hmm. Hmm. It stopped me. That's for dang sure. I mean, I just locked up. I was like, think, 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 and I'm trying to find a commonality, a common memory, a common idea, or a
Mhm.
common hypothesis
Some way to
to
connect.
to connect with him mentally, you know.
Mhm.
Um, and even though I couldn't really, I did understand it somewhat,
Mhm.
because sometimes we can't see ourselves in the mirror
Mhm.
if you think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, we see what we see. The whole rest of the world sees something entirely different. First off, okay, like, okay, see, I'm going like this. I'm actually, see, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to
This is
show
my
this.
left hand.
Right. That's your left
Left.
hand?
That's my
And
left
see,
hand.
this is my right hand.
It's because I've
And
got my camera reversed.
you who?
My camera's reversed, or
I
maybe
guess
yours is
mine is
reversed.
too. But see, this is my left, or this is my right hand. I'm looking at the, see, I just looked at the camera. I just looked at the screen to see what hand was up. And I was like, I just said left. It's actually my right hand. This is my right hand. Okay. Here's
Mhm.
my left.
Right
Now,
hand.
here's the thing. When we look in the mirror, that that one,
Okay, right? Well, it's like trying to.
this one right here is going to be on this side. This
Mhm.
side. Okay. So what I'm looking at right now in the screen, like I'm looking at myself and I'm like, wait a minute, that's my left side. This scar right here, that's on my left. Okay.
Mhm.
But to you guys, it looks like it's on the right. So you guys get to see what I think I look like in the mirror every day. Makes sense?
Mhm. Yes, mostly.
So anyway, we can't even see ourselves right,
Mhm.
you know. Um, I generally I generally don't look in the mirror. I mean, sometimes I look in the mirror, you know, when I'm washing face, make sure I get
Mhm.
everything, you know, blah blah blah, or whatever have you. If I'm doing my teeth flossing with, you know, paying attention to close stuff, I'll look then. But generally speaking, I can go for a week without seeing my own face. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yes.
even look because I
Um,
don't.
because I'm looking for the dang little chin whiskers.
But look at I'm not looking in my eyes in the
Mhm.
mirror.
Right. Exactly. I probably look in my eyes more when I'm doing a video
Hmm.
because I'm trying to connect with what's going on in the video than I do anywhere else.
Hmm.
But um, but even then, it's just looking. I'm looking at, not in,
Right.
and and there's that difference. It's like you're looking at the window, or you're looking in the window, or looking at the mirror, looking in the mirror,
That's
looking at the
agreeable.
book, looking in the book. So it's like, hey, I'm looking at my eyes, you're looking in my eyes. But yeah, looking at myself.
Hmm.
I don't even have I don't have a full length mirror in my house.
Neither.
I got to thinking I probably ought to, because mini me is almost a teenager, and she
Mhm.
is one of those that likes to try on different outfits and see what they look like. And at some point, she's gonna want to see what the whole outfit looks like.
Mhm.
So I was like, great. Now I got to. Where am I going to put this mirror?
On the back of the door.
It's like,
Put it
that's
on a
great.
door.
Which door? Yeah, great. Which one?
You don't have
I
to.
don't. I don't want it in her room
How come?
because
Oh,
um,
never mind.
we don't emphasize physical appearance in our house.
Oh, I thought it was because of magic. You know, mirror magic.
Um, no, no, not even that, because you can wear the mirror really relatively easily. It's just mostly um, physical appearance is just physical appearance. We don't emphasize that.
Mhm.
Just like we don't emphasize material possessions. I mean, do we have a lot of crap? Yes, I do emphasize crap. We have a lot of crap. We have a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
Deep cleansing breath on the stuff. But is it name brand? Some of it is, some of it isn't. Do we prefer quality over quantity?
Mhm.
Yes.
Right.
Um, so I would rather have high quality stuff rather than a lot of stuff. And I was like, okay, here's something I don't understand.
Okay.
The people who know me locally and have known us locally, because
Mm-hmm.
we've lived in this community now for like 15 years,
Mm-hmm.
consider us a more of a have in the community than a have not.
Okay.
Um, and um, and that kind of baffles me just a skosh because I don't generally consider myself a have. I don't really consider myself a have not. I'm just a me
Right.
because I don't put that kind of label on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's part of why they consider me a have is because I don't label myself.
Okay.
Um, we generally prefer to live in a house with some size to it.
Right.
Um, we
Not
generally,
not strange.
right? Um, we generally prefer to have food rather than food products, which is
Mm-hmm.
apparently a symbol of wealth, um, which I didn't realize was a symbol of wealth because food products are actually cheaper than food. Have you noticed that? If you go to the store and you buy meats and vegetables and fruits and grains, for instance, you buy foods to cook with
Right.
and create meals rather than food products like instant stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, your grocery bill, $100 says you can buy a lot of food products for $100.
Right.
It looks bulky. It looks like you have a lot, but you don't have as much as you would
Mm-hmm.
if you had food.
Right.
So um, yeah, makes it interesting.
Well,
Um,
that's the thing. It's like, you know, I have to say, getting off the food, the processed foods, all the box things with UPC codes and all that stuff. Okay, if it comes from an agriculture, if it comes from a corporation, it's pretty bad. I'm not even going to go into the processed meats or anything like that. But if you get fresh meat,
mhm,
okay, and I would stay away from frozen as much as possible because frozen meat, because you don't know why it's so heavy. You're
right.
paying by the pound. You don't seem to understand. Whereas, I would buy fresh meat,
Mhm,
fresh vegetables as much as possible. Um, and I think everybody, if you can, I would recommend getting a freeze dryer. I really do. Get all your fresh vegetables and fruits and everything like that and freeze dry the heck out of them. They'll last 25 years. Think about it this way, it's money in the bank. All those
yes.
leftovers. Oh, and get this, if you make a lasagna or a macaroni and cheese with ham or whatever, your special macaroni and cheese that your kids love so much and everything, you could dehydrate or you could freeze dry that also. Put it in the Mylar bags and freeze dry that.
Mhm,
And you know what? That could be like, birthday gifts from great grandmother, from
mhm,
old recipes and everything like that. 25 years in the future. I mean, think about it. And you can use it for survival too. But think about the gift that you can give to your grandkids saying, this is how my grandmother made it. You know, this is the recipe that she used. This is what it
mhm,
tastes like. This is what food tasted like when we were kids. You know what I'm saying?
right?
Because
Exactly.
okay, surely you remember the different confections we had as kids. They were good. Yeah, it was
Mhm,
sweet, but it wasn't that saccharine sweetness that we've got today in the foods today.
mhm,
There's a difference between sugar sweet and fruit sweet
mhm.
and this nonsense, whatever the chemical concepts are that's being put on our candies and cookies and whatnot. Ugh, you know,
Yeah.
ugh. I
Yes, I
can't
agree.
stand Little Debbie. Oh my gosh, when I was a kid, Little Debbie was good. And we live
Right?
here in Tennessee, and it's made right here in Collegedale. Okay, it's and it was good. And then something happened. I don't know, in the early 2000s. I remember eating my favorite Little Debbie was called the Fudge Rounds. Okay, oh, they were
Okay.
good, right? Except there was a funny aftertaste. Okay. Failed to brush my teeth before I went to bed. Holy shit. In the morning, I was like, oh my God, what the is in my mouth, you know? And every time I ate Little Debbie, it was this god awful stench in my mouth when I woke up in the mornings. So I didn't eat it before bed. And then eventually I was like, you know what? I'm not, that tells me something. There's something wrong with this. But anyway, the foods that are processed, I mean, it's like if the company has to hire a perfumer in order to make something taste like
Mhm.
something else, you, you don't want
Right?
that. I would
Exactly.
recommend storing up on vanilla beans, not extract. You can make your own extract with some booze, but vanilla beans. Did you know what they do in Southern Europe? Instead of using vodka or alcohol extract to extract the vanilla, you know what they use? They take the vanilla bean pod and they take about, I guess, a pound or 2 pound bag of sugar and they process it, put it in a fruit processor with the vanilla bean the whole vanilla bean, the pod, or
Mm.
what do they call it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a pod. Mhm.
throw the whole thing in there, grind it up, and there you've got vanilla sugar. So that's your vanilla.
That would be
It,
awesome.
it's a lot less expensive. Think of how expensive it is for a freaking thing. Those little things of vanilla extract is
Mhm.
$7.
Mhm.
Look at the size.
Mhm.
$7 for vanilla extract, which is mostly alcohol. It's not that much on vanilla flavor. So yeah, it's like get your own vanilla pods, buy them in bulk as much as possible,
Oh yeah.
and store
The
them up.
I do know of a couple places
Hmm.
to get vanilla pods because you don't have to get top shelf vanilla pods. You don't have to get the pretty ones. You can get the damaged ones.
Right? I mean,
And because why do you need the pretty ones? You're just gonna grind them up.
you're gonna grind them up.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Hey,
so
yeah. So I
um,
told you. There we
also
go. You know.
you can make it in bourbon, vanilla bourbon
Oh,
instead
wow.
of vodka. Do it in bourbon.
Mhm.
Mm, or
Oh,
whiz.
wow. Oh, that sounds good.
Right?
That's so bad. We're so bad. We're just
I know.
mhm. We're not advocating. We're not
We don't
advocating
advocate
alcoholic
you
drinking or
know,
anything like that.
because you're creating something to bake with.
That's right. It's for baking only,
Desserts. Because you're gonna brulee it
or for medicinal purposes.
there you go.
We're just bad. Okay, we know.
Mhm.
We know. Oh my. Okay.
So
I'm so glad to see the chat rooms here. And
yeah.
hi guys.
Yeah, so that's one thing. So I like that Rumble because if I doing the multi-stream like this, I stream into Twitter and Rumble and Facebook if I have it connected correctly, and YouTube, and everybody can kind of chat all at the same time, and I can see it and I can respond, and it's awesome. Ooh, what kind of bourbon? I was like, well, I don't know. You can get the cheap bourbon or you can get the good bourbon. Depends on what kind of bourbon you want to use. Um,
I'm not much of a bourbon person, but I do like the idea of bourbon with vanilla. That I would try that. I would definitely try that. Maybe a little. Anyway, we gotta stop talking about that because I'm gonna start thinking about desserts now.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, let's see.
We're on our way to a full moon again. Yes, time to charge up the moon water.
Right. Well, it's not all bad. That's a good thing. So, there's a place. There's a Koenig, Koenig distillery
Okay.
in
Okay.
Idaho, and they
Oh,
make a pretty decent bourbon. And
are you
then,
about to imbibe on air?
oh no, I am not. Um,
You look like you're about to. You're
oh,
focused
that would be an off-air conversation,
on.
and just leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I've done it before. I had wine and with my
but
viewers.
anyways, the Koenig one is called Seven Devils Straight Bourbon.
Seven Devils straight
Mhm,
bourbon.
mhm,
Wow, Seven Devils. Okay,
mhm.
so
And it's a good old fashioned rye whiskey, but in oak barrel aging. So yeah,
oh,
it's
nice.
it's good.
Huh?
They've got some good awards for it. Um, but
Mm.
the it's down. Koenig is down in southern Idaho around Devil's Canyon. So that's where the Seven
Oh,
Devils
okay.
comes from.
Okay, gotcha. I still like my Tullamore Dew, it's a whiskey. It's the smoothest whiskey you'll ever have. You don't need a chaser. Okay, you'll never need a chaser for it. Seriously. I mean, I can drink it, which I'm not a whiskey girl either, but Tullamore Dew is the smoothest, nicest, most pleasant. Hmm, that's my thing. You know, I don't
Well,
drink it that often. It's like once in a while I'll have a shot of it, you know?
sometimes you just gotta have a spirit to settle the spirits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's all
Like
there is
the
to
other day when my what was it, the modem. I have the modem that's up there in the cabinet so I can, do its thing on Wi-Fi. And I made a mistake and I pulled on something and the wires pulled on it and it pulled down and bashed me right in the face. I
it.
was
Yeah.
not happy with that. I was like, it's like, because it really did. It felt like it's like somebody punched me in the face. And I'm like, I'm taking a shot. Just,
Right?
I'm good. I was okay after that.
Well, Marley says she doesn't drink anymore. You know what? And you don't have to drink.
I don't
Sometimes.
drink anymore. I basically sip, if anything, or just take a shot. I don't drink. This is what I drink: coffee. I drink coffee and chug water.
Yeah, I do. I do a lot of water. Water.
Hmm.
Water bottle.
I put down I put about a liter in every night. You know.
So,
Also,
anyways,
you know
frequencies.
what? Yeah.
Because I gotta feed Mini Me. Speaking of,
Oh,
just I got well, she got a friend over now too.
snap.
So, I'm
Oh,
as we're
snap.
doing this
It's
texting.
going on
Yeah,
6. Wow.
yep. I gotta go feed the kids. So, and yeah, and stuff. We're
Hmm.
just gonna say and stuff, things and stuff.
Common stuff.
Mm. So, but I wanted to
This is
see how
awesome.
this looked in the background
I
because
like the constellations.
yes, I figured it was highly appropriate.
Well, I'm
Um,
still working on my studio. I'm gonna have to get a lamp because I've got it dark in here and I'm illuminated only by my computer screen, which is huge. Um,
it's got good light. I've got the window open, so that's why I've got good light right now instead of the overhead on.
yeah.
We're going to be doing some adjusting. Um,
Hmm.
blah.
Well, today's
Uh,
Tuesday.
it's
I came
Memorial
on here
Day.
instead of.
It's Memorial Day weekend, so
Oh,
coming up. There's no school on Friday or Monday for us. I'm supposed to go
okay.
do some medieval stuff this weekend. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do both days. I may just be doing one. We're going to see how that goes because life and
Hmm.
and stuff. And
Well, girl, I'm gonna see if I can hit you up. I don't know. Are you working tomorrow?
not planning on it because
Okay.
things and stuff. And so if you're going to go live and you want to talk about stuff, we can.
Yep. I'm
Yep.
gonna try. I'm gonna do my studio. I mean, we've been on yours quite a few times, but now it's my turn.
Yep.
You know.
Right.
Now that I
Well,
got my break here, a new one, and it's
yes.
badass.
Well, I wanted to after I was surprised that the OBS worked and I was totally stoked about that. And then because I didn't expect it to,
Hmm.
and it just did, and I'm like, oh, that's how you do it. One of those. It's like because here I've been working on OBS backgrounds and things, and it's like, oh, because I wanted to be able to use them so I could take a break if I needed to, rather than just sit here for like, I didn't want to do like long chats without a break because someday, you never know, I might want to put a commercial in because who knows, I might have a sponsor.
Actually, I think that's a good idea for several
Uh,
reasons. Because sometimes we know that there's some products out there that everybody could use. Okay. And we
Right.
would be, it's not just a matter of being sponsored. It's a matter of doing a service toward for the people who are listening to you.
Right.
Because if you find a widget that is the best widget ever, you'll never have to buy another one again. You got to recommend the widget and tell everybody about it. And they want to sponsor you at the same time. You're doing great service for everybody all around. And it's a
Mhm.
good frequency. It's a good connection. It's just good all the way around to do.
Right.
So,
Like I use Mountain Rose Herbs is a
mhm,
company I buy stuff from.
mhm.
Um, I have an affiliate thing with them, I think. I should probably start doing something for them. But yeah, have a good night, Marley. Just because,
Yeah.
um, I mean, they do teas and herbs and tinctures and all sorts of stuff. I should probably have a link
Mhm.
somewhere just so I can prop them up once in a while. But if
Yep.
I don't have space for it intentionally, if I don't set
Mhm.
the intention, do I do it?
Ooh.
Right. Yeah, I gotta set the intention. So yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, so I think this looks good. I really am pleased with what I see. I did look on Twitter to see on your page on Twitter, and it looks good. It
Good.
looks good. I
Awesome.
don't know how the sound is on it, but because I don't want it echoing through and just confusing me and stuff. It's easy to do that these days.
10 4. Just like I know that I think Substack, it should go out on Substack too, but I don't.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh snap! I gotta get that. Yeah, how to do that? Make it
Right.
out there. That's right. She's got a Substack, y'all. So please follow her on Substack.
Mm-hmm. I have links.
Okay. Um, I can see you're starting to wind down, and you've got a kid to feed.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to tell her to get off the air. Let's go
Yep. I
because
gotta get up here
there's a kid to feed.
because got stuff to do, things to do,
Mhm. Yes,
and
you do.
I
We all
will.
do.
Right. So thanks for joining. It was good to see
Yeah,
people. Yay.
I'm
Oh
excited.
yes. Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is awesome.
And
Well,
we need to do more of this.
yes. I
Yes.
think we're going to be, yeah, with what we're doing, we don't have time to not do it. Now we have to do
Well,
this.
enough of our conversations go just like the past hour. I
Hmm.
mean, it's kind of nice to actually see a face. Now, granted, I can't make cookies while I'm doing this or some other thing, but I could I could bring some crafts with me and do them while I'm on the air
Oh, that's an
because
idea.
yeah, because I could be like, oh shoot, look what I'm doing. But yeah, don't mind me.
Oh, shoot. I left my laundry over at the house. Oh, gosh. Okay.
Yep, you gotta go.
Oops. Nope. That's okay. It's too late now. It's like, yeah, it's almost
Eh,
9 o'clock. It's too late.
all
No,
right.
my neighbor, she got attacked by an owl today. So,
An owl. Oh shoot, at work.
hmm
Oh, is she okay?
she said, yeah, she's walking, but it got her arm, I think. So I
Okay.
didn't get to talk to her about it, but yeah, so it's like, okay, what message
Yeah.
is there in this? I mean, or is it because you were in the wrong place at the wrong time and the owl's pissed off? You
Right.
know.
There's so many things there.
Hmm.
Yep.
Many, many, many things, and yeah. So we'll figure. I'll find out what the scoop was, what happened, and everything like
Yep.
that. But
Over
she'll be
coffee.
all right. I think she's a tough lady. So
Yep.
yeah.
Cool. All right. Well,
Right.
I shall talk to you later. Good night, all. And hey, come back to the chaos. We'll
Yeah,
talk to you
I
later.
like this. Tumbling through the chaos. It's good.
Mhm. Yeah, it is good. It's who we are. It's what we do.
Hmm. Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you too. Ooh. Theme.
Off.
Yeah. Off. All right. We've got this. Yes. I think we have to hit there.
Oh,
Ooh.
here, just leave room. I can leave room. Bye, y'all.
There you go.